Joe Pietara from MuscleSport Media here with your USFL Extra Point Week 1 edition. Things kicked off on Saturday night. Not one, but two networks, NBC and Fox. When was the last time that was done? Super Bowl I? It wasn't even called Super Bowl. AFL NFL Championship way back in 1966 was held on two networks. And that's exactly what happened in this reincarnation, if you will, of the United States Football League, the league that we knew and loved. And it was phenomenal. 83, 84, and 85, going back a few years. Opening night, Saturday night, New Jersey Generals at Birmingham Stallion. So a good home game, if you will, for Birmingham. Back and forth. What really impressed me about this game was there was some really good deep passes with some excellent coverage, but threading the needle, getting the ball in on a dime, some really exciting receptions downfield. Not just short passes. They were really spreading the field, it looked like. It actually looked almost like an old AFL game, which was a lot more offensive than the NFL back in the 60s. This was a seesaw battle, back and forth, back and forth. Generals had some trouble with their field goal kicker, who missed two field goals. That would end up coming back to haunt them in the fourth quarter. A lot of real exciting special teams coverage, too. That's another thing that I've seen as a constant with this USFL. It seems that these players know their ticket to the NFL, which, listen, let's be honest, a lot of these players want to get discovered. They got some game film now to want to get invited to some training camps. Their best way of making a team is via the special teams. So the Generals, they take a lead late in the game on a 47-yard field goal. Right? So now we get a field goal, but time left on the clock. Stallions come right down the field. They're able to run it in. They're using a two-quarterback system, kind of like the way the Generals were. The final score, Birmingham 28, New Jersey 24. Now the next day, Easter Sunday, it's supposed to be 3 games, a triple header held. The weather didn't hold up. Listen, what are you going to do? The only time football doesn't go off the schedule when there's lightning involved. So the first game early in the day had to be delayed because there was some real severe weather conditions with lightning involved. Houston Gamblers at Michigan Panthers. Game starts a little late, but Houston starts out like a house of fire. 17-0 lead. Michigan Panthers finally get themselves on the board in the second half. They finally get breakthrough a little bit. Late fourth quarter possessions where the defense of the Gamblers held. Ben didn't break. Final score, 17-12. Houston over Michigan. And then the game later in the day, oddly enough, the sun came out. It was a nice day. If you're watching it on TV, family over Easter Sunday like I was. Philadelphia Stars at the New Orleans Breakers. Here we go. They're going at it back and forth, Philly and New Orleans. The lead with a field goal late in the game, but the Breakers come down and they tie it with a touchdown. And it's 17-17 after this 42-yard run. The final stanza begins, fourth quarter. Who's going to come out on top? New Orleans is within the 5-yard line in the fourth quarter. Jordan Ellis, big running back, bounces off of 2 levels of defenders, the first line and then the linebacker line, ends up in the end zone from a situation down deep in the red zone. Final score, Breakers 23, Stars 17. The late game, they ended up canceling because now the rains and the lightning came back. So we got even a better special present. Monday Night Football, unscheduled as it is in the USFL, didn't matter. Tampa Bay Bandits at Pittsburgh Maulers, all Tampa Bay from the get-go. This was probably the least exciting game of the weekend. Tampa Bay Bandits, 17-0 lead in the first half. A field goal by the Maulers, and not much going on at all for Pittsburgh. A rough night for their team. Final score, 17-3. Week 1, all in all, listen, great crowd, 3.5 million viewers on the opening night. The second day, a little tough because now you're dealing with Easter and terrible weather, and also Birmingham is the home team here. So it's kind of hard to look at attendance with the USFL and make a judgment call either way with it. To me, I'm looking at, first of all, the camera angles that they're using in this league is great. The chip in the ball instead of having the chain gang on there. They said that it's a couple of 4 or 5 ounces heavier, so some QBs and kickers were complaining about that. But all in all, week 1, a rousing success for the USFL. And of course, MuscleSport Mag, we're going to be covering the living daylights out of these guys right on the cover of the first issue. And we get a spring football story in our sports den right there in volume 13, issue 1. We will see you in a week.